a bit of a dump stream for now. What's going on? Ah, come on. Hold on. Give me 1 second. I'm going to have to yell into the microphone. Sound levels. Crank it up. Okay, that's a lot better. Let's go, everybody. How you doing today? Let's get right into it. Yeah, we're going to look at some dome trading action again as we bring live harmonic trading to the futures area. But I would be remiss to not address the crypto disaster befalling us quickly. Look out below. What's going on, chat? Great to see everybody. I really am. It's days like today where I'm glad I do what I do to understand in advance really what everything's going on. I mean, who would have thunk it, right? XRP 126 now. Not a thing, right? Not a biggie. Unless you're, long. And absolutely just I don't know. I really am. I've been kind of mulling it for a while, and I'm glad I'm making the shift now to doing the futures dedicated content, because this crypto thing is over for a long time, kids. Not even close. Hold on 1 second. Unless you're, there you go. So I just want to be really clear on where I'm at with all of my targets on crypto. And what I think we should be anticipating going forward is just an absolute 886 reset. We have seen it in just about 99% of the crypto assets, and now it's going to come back and 886 reset the whole cycle, which basically means it's mostly fluff. Something like XRP, whatever this was not a new price discovery cycle, and the whole thing will be retraced. This is Dogecoin. This is Peanut, the squirrel coin. Okay. I never bought Peanut the squirrel coin, but I gotta say, I think people are gonna look back in a year or two and be like, "Yeah, man, I lost like 5 grand on Peanut the squirrel coin." And I think people are gonna just realize, like, was I on mushrooms or something? Because some of this I gotta laugh. I'm sorry. I've been thinking a lot about this, and I have some of the stuff I've been involved with. Okay, so I made ridiculous money on ridiculous. I made money on Doge. I made big money on Dogecoin in 2020 cycle. I made big money on Stellar Lumens last year. I gave it back on XRP. I made a ton on XRP, and then I gave like 3/4 of it back. But then some of the other stuff that I got into, I didn't buy Peanut, but I bought some other stuff. I bought this Harmony one. Oh, and it's just terrible bag, and that's on me. So that's kind of my admission to why I'm there's still a bitterness. But I'm grateful to crypto because it made me a lot of money. But it's over. I'll be really clear. This is full 886 cycle nonsense about to befall the rest of the biggies. 886 on XRP is just a number. But that number is 65, 64 cents. And it's not $1.26. There is no opportunity here. So again, I want to be really clear. As I said today, gut check. This stuff is over. Solana, guys, let's be clear, it's over. Solana, 47. Bye-bye. Goodbye. As Mitch Ray would say, beanie bags. These are all beanie bags. Why? Because the volume is going to drive up. There's no more money for the scams. All the hype, everything that was supposed to happen, did not. Most crypto-friendly administration you could possibly have, and what'd they get done? Not a lot. They got some legislation. What was its impact? It marked the high. 47.57 is XA. This is why we do harmonic patterns, people. I have been saying this for a while. I was saying 105 since 200. It was a T2. This stuff is dangerous right now. Dangerous, about to go into the toxic dump land. Bitcoin. Bitcoin, right? How are you feeling about 39,000 now? 66.9. And I told you guys, I wasn't trading this. All right, I don't have anything to do with it, and maybe I should have. Maybe I should have been shorting the you-know-what out of it. But I don't really care, but I know a lot of people do crypto, and I've been holding on, and I got to say, 39K now, guys, is the only number you care about. It's the only number you care about. Why? Because the harmonics, just like these dates, repeat in the same way, and they have every time. Why would we fight it? Why would we fight it, right? Here's some things that, I've been posting. Here's these, remember the crazy dates. We posted this, the exact high on October 7. And I said, gee, that's pretty interesting. And that was the exact high. And whoever this anonymous person is, Chet, he called that 2 years before. He called the entire cycle on the upside and the exact high. And so where does that put us? Though 364 days of another bear cycle puts you October 5th. Looking for the bottom. And that bottom will be under 39K or 38K, 39K. It's under 40K. And so all of these dates are rhyming, repeating perfectly. And then we bring on top of it, our harmonic retracements. Which is, come on, here you go. This is, I should pin this to the top. December 14. Past 4 cycles. Remember, and I did this last session. I'm repeating it so that you guys are really clear on it. 786, 786, 786. And the dates are perfect. And then 2027, looking for a low. Until then, you are down and hit me a 786. That's where we are. So 67 is the only number that is that 67 is the official failure. And I always said it was just, I said it's under 68,400 here, which is that prior hop level. How does everybody feel? Has anyone learned what a looping type 2 is now? And how long have we been talking about it? Guys, ladies and gentlemen, all right, the understanding that when you have a pattern looking left and then it does this kind of a thing and starts rolling over, well, that has to get retested. And that's a powerful kind of a framework strategy you will be using for the rest of your life. You'll be able to look at a market and look at the pattern and understand, okay, well, that's got to get retested. And then the hop level's got to get, that's overspill. We've been so clear on this. And now we're under the hop, under 68,488, 66,816 at the moment. Pretty remarkable stuff. And now the only thing that I really care about is get me to 50K, and then we can get to 39K. But in terms of time, in terms of the dates themselves, that could be October. But I think pretty clear that that's our only number left. Ethereum. And let's get it out of the way, because we did this like a week or two ago, and now it's all hitting. I said 2K on Ethereum. Now it's 19. And I mean, it's just the only thing I care about, guys, is where's the dot? The dot, and it's nowhere to be found. You need, just let me be clear. Okay, we had the check back, which was last week, nasty candle. You need 2 green weeks. You need 2 green weekly candles. That's not this week. Before that dot triggers. I'm going to say, like last time, you're there or there, which was 2K before you went to 1400. Really, really important that, you understand that's what's going on here. Yeah. So that's why the software and everything that we do here with Harmonic Patterns is basically to bring the receipts. Everyone, please get on over, get the software, send your trading username to hpc@sr-analyst.com. Right now, if you want to get into the gold member section for the rest of the month, February, you got to put in gold, G-O-L-D, the first person to put in G-O-L-D. We're going to let you get into the gold. So we'll do some of the future stuff with that as well. And then I'll give away one software, one 30-day, because I know people are still asking me for that trial. Just get the 2 weeks, but since I know people are asking because they want the opportunity to win, HPC 30, and that'll give you a 30-day for the Trading View and for gold membership. You got to DM me, which is here. Greg, you're in. Greg, DM me. Come on. You know better than that. Just DM me. But okay, and then HPC 30, and that's the software, and then that takes care of that. Hit me up on the Discord, by the way. What is that? Hold on, that's not that. Hold on. Let me get this right. All right. I'm looking for a nice little setup here on NASDAQ futures. I'll come back to that in a second. Let me just take a quick peek where we are. Nice little bounce up. All right, good. I've been up. I was up like, what was I up here? This is where I'm at so far today. So, like I said, I just did a pre-YouTube session on the gold channel. We had one loss, one break even. I'm going to look for one more setup. And I got into S&P futures as well. Where we looked at a couple of things that I'm seeing on S&P futures. Maybe I should be paying more attention to ES. Check this out. And this is all off of the software, doing some scalping trades. The best patterns are, or the best situations are with patterns, but look, the confirmation, like this is great. The shark, arrow, diamond, dot, perfect for reaction trade. And then even back here, this is the one we were looking at earlier. So this is the kind of the deluxe combination trigger if I'm seeing something intraday. If I want to know something's overbought for the next 5 minutes, it's going to be looking at a 30-second signal like that. We're not getting them all over the place, but really the key is to just dial it into segments. All right, really quick. Let me get back to one or two of crypto, so we wrap up on that. Ethereum is a unique situation where every major low of the last 6 years, and this is remarkable, and you go back even more, 10 years, guys, 10 years. Every major low had an HSI arrow and dot on the weekly chart. And I'm going to go all the way back here. You go 2017, arrow, diamond, dot. Okay, and that's maybe that's encouraging, but we know that this correction on Ethereum, I think it's going to go lower and get nasty before we can generate a major low. But, you go back there, 2017 led to a sizable, massive percentage run. And then 2018, look, let's blow it up. And it will give us a starting point. Okay, but there, 2018, you start looking after the dot. And then we had, arrow, dot, diamond, which is our deluxe confirmation. There you go again. 2018. Arrow, diamond, arrow, dot, go back to 19. Get the picture. Then we can take it to like 2022. Check that out. Arrow, dot, diamond, arrow, dot. You get the picture here. And then even last year. So what we're going to look for now on Ethereum, dot, sure. Are we going to get a diamond? I will let you know. It's not there yet. And this is the new combo indicator that you guys do not, you have the diamond on your software. I will be bringing the panel to you probably pretty soon. All right. I've been kind of holding it back, but I think in the next month I'll make that available. I'll let you guys know. Anyway, you will get the dot. We will definitely get a dot, and that's going to be sufficient as a minimum signal, but not this week. And we're probably going to be 2 more weeks, which is the rest of this month. Ethereum remains in the downtrend. I think we could come back and retest that prior support at about 1580. It's nasty. But that's where we're at. Then the other one or two that I want to kind of be really clear on is that the major ones like Doge are going back to about probably 5 cents. And I've been calling for the minimum kind of retest, and we've got some things here. There's a full 886 retest on Doge. Insane. I mean, it's still $15 billion market cap here. Okay. But I don't see why this doesn't go to 2 cents. Hit the hop level at 2.3. That's the kind of severity of decline here, breakdown, that You don't hold here. You don't hold 9 cents. Like really, it's you go back to 2 cents. It absolutely insane. Then the other one is going to be BNB. Well, first Cardano, because it's probably going to be the last time I ever bring this up on the channel. And so, like let's just say goodbye to Cardano. Cardano's 25 cents. It hit the long-awaited target where I said this is where it's going back to. And I still see people recommending it. Please, this is going back to probably a nickel or less. There's no opportunity here. Zero. Zero. And if you just even want to go on there's a weekly. You want to go on the signals of, maybe I'm bent out of shape and I don't, I've got a negative attitude towards crypto. I do, but I'm going to tell you, even on our long-term signals, this is so oversold that it's like a death march. This is a toxic trend that just can't even turn around. So Cardano, let's say goodbye. It was fun, but no more. And then the only other one, Binance Coin, and then BNB, where I said, hey, let's look for a pullback. It was not too long ago. I was saying let's look for a pullback on Binance Coin. Okay, from like we were up here at 13. I was like, yeah, maybe we get to 800. We're 650. And then it's incredible how quickly sentiment can change where then you have talk about liquidity issues. Nothing worse than fear of liquidity issues. And so Binance Coin, I'm just going to look at that and treat that the same as everything else is a full 886, 335. Certainly nothing here. I mean, the lack of sustainability to go to 1300 and then collapse back to 600 or 800 is just absolutely weak. Really a shame. One or two more, okay, in this crypto space that we should just kind of put it to rest. Coinbase hit the target 2 at 150, which is what we talked about all along. 886 at 80 bucks is probably where it goes. It's over. Hate to say it, it really, and everything that I think what people are bummed out about is that they think, this was supposed to be a movement, and it's not. You got shellacked, you got rug pulled. MicroStrategy 886 is $75. It's the only other place that goes, and we've talked about that before. It's truly phenomenal, but now it gets ugly. Hate to say that. Okay, markets, NASDAQ, I think it's due for a deeper retracement, but this crypto thing is gotten toxic fast. And it doesn't even matter what the truth is. The implications, what has been talked about in the last, I'd say, week in particular, of less than reputable influences in the space. The thing has gotten nasty. So with all of that, absolutely got to consider what's going on here, which is this was a big Ponzi run, and now you're on the 886 slope decline, and that's going to be the objectives. Just like, I'm going to bring this up too. So if Bitcoin goes to 39K, then what does GBTC do? Looping type 2. It's got to be a type 2. That's the framework. This pattern matters. Looking left, guys, this pattern matters. And ever since Bitcoin busted 111K and failed and cracked 107, it's been more and more a possibility. And so look, the trend line's busted. You're $51, 1534. That's the only place I would look for this to be a type 2. And it just don't think it can't happen. Major type 2s like this happen all the time. It just takes years to go up and come all the way back down. So it's, there you go. Let's move on. Let's take a look at NASDAQ real quick. $8.18. We got another opportunity to sell this because we should be figuring out where this is going to go. It looks like this thing's already starting to roll over for the day. Oh, come on. 5 minute. There was the 5 minute at 30 again. 8:30, guys. And it's a... Okay. Check this out. This is going to be a nice one. All right, everybody. We're looking for the return trade. RTH, 5 minute. Settle in. Listen, we got major resistance at 831 for the day, and I'd be looking for this back to not only 573. This is a toxic, talk about toxic. I'd be looking for this crab pattern to be finished for today. 8:30. Can we get another 8:30? I would start looking for entries. I don't know why I didn't see that earlier. We're playing for 573. This is NASDAQ today. I'll get to some stocks in a minute, but I'm really interested on this little future setup for the rest of the day. Buckle up, kids. Let's go. Let's go. I mean, because I know a lot of crypto people are coming out of the space, and saying, "What do I do now?" And I think you just take harmonic pattern framework and go to town on, if we're going to short the market, let's get some patterns. Let's get some overbought signals and keep playing it down to some numbers. Or take a break. So let me bring this up. Let me bring up the hold on. Oh, let me bring up the dome. See if I can get. Let's see if we can get an opportunity to sell. I would love another retest back to like 830 area, or get me a bearish dot. I'm looking at that 30-second time frame. This is the 5-second. Yes, I said 5-second. And that's where we're getting the most patterns. Look at that last crab pattern, 832, right back at our bigger numbers. Shark, can we get Shark to 5-0? Let's keep an eye on that. I think I need more coffee. Excuse me. I think I'm gonna have to. If it's 1 o'clock. I probably want to go for till 2. Yep. I'll make it. All right, hold on. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead. All right, I'll come back to this. Let me bring up another chart, and I'll look at a couple of things you guys want to peek at. Yeah, sorry. And again, shout out to everybody that's in crypto. It was fun, but it's over in a major way. And again, I just anybody that continues to recommend it, I think they're going to lose all credibility in about another month. I've been really clear on it, and I was one calling for some gargantuan targets on Bitcoin a year ago and last summer. But you guys know, ever since middle October, I've changed my tune, and in the last 90 days, yeah. Now, is this going to happen to the stock market? We might be going through retrace, another retrace phase like we did 2025. Again, I've been looking for a pullback. Okay, and let me just jump over here, kind of give some concrete levels. The QQQ guys, the whole time it's been dealing with this 1618 at around 630. It's like this. And this is another failure to get above it, but there it is. It's the last year's 1618. I think we can all agree we're stalling at the 1618, and that's like 630. Almost broke out for like a second last week, and now we're spitting it down. The problem that happened is this: we failed the 50 level, and this is a little dangerous. And this is new information, by the way. This is kind of like a major shift in what we've been looking at. See, we were here last week, 2 weeks ago, and we were trying to get back above the 50. The fact that we did not and we've rolled over, this is a major development on HSI as well. So QQQ now at 600. Look, you think we got to dial this back and say this is another retrace within the longer term uptrend where 550, 545 is the 382. So that's a 10% correction. How do you feel about that? That's probably where we go. And then the obvious prior breakout gap at 492. Here we go. We're going to have to start considering that. And this is this is like shifting on crypto back in October. I think we're going to have to shift on QQQ. And this could happen pretty quickly. Oh, it can go back, like 6-8 weeks. And then be over, like last year. So just get ready. We're there, and it's again plenty of time. If I'm right, and it's not me. It's look, this breakdown. This is something I always talk about. Like get under the 50 level. Look for price acceleration when you crack the 50. On the downside, you couldn't ask for a better breakdown, and it's if we're going to apply like an XABCD framework to it, XA, right? B, and you can do this with indicators. C, where does the bat cycle have to complete? At an 886. It's kind of like that. And we might not get all the way down there, but certainly this is a bat action magnet move on the indicator. Yeah, and I would draw your attention to the last time that kind of happened where, we could pretty much approximate it like this. 50 level breakdown, go get oversold. Same kind of a thing. That's how you know. So this is harmonic pattern framework. These are the advantages of it. It's showing it to us, the fact that it's confirmed, it's triggered. We've been dealing with the 1618 the whole time. That's why it hasn't moved. You know, you're here, there. It is the primary number in the whole harmonic pattern measurement arsenal. It's there. Okay, 1618. What does it represent? The natural cycle of any market move. Do you know on bar 1? No, but by bar 3 to 5, you know this thing is digesting this deal. It's definitely not going to bypass it. And one other thing. Okay, the week that we hit the 1618 was a big gap up. That was huge. Hit the 1618 and then got slammed. And then look, December 1, 2, first 2 weeks of December retest, and then first, second week of January, every time rejected and then rejected, and now breakdown. This is going to be a 3-bar breakdown for the week. Any close under QQQ 606, you got issues. So it's a big reversal, guys. And it's completely just repeating almost to the week as a year ago. Let me look. Maybe a year ago was a little bit later, but here you go. You're up here, stalling, 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 and then 3-bar breakdown. Goodbye. All right, that 3-bar breakdown won't be official till tomorrow, but shh, no thank you. No thank you. So that kind of curtails the larger progress for now. When QQQ wants to do a retrace, not much going to go up. And with crypto falling apart, it's got a long way to go on the downside. I embrace this. I think it's going to give us another great opportunity. And, this is how, unfortunately, these super stealth retracements are how the market's been dishing out bigger opportunities. Let's be ready. We were ready for this last year. Ready for it again this year. S&P 500, you look, that 70-50 area. Been a little tricky. And we were just all-time highs like a week ago. But I'm not overly concerned. We'll see where we are by tomorrow. But this could be week 1 because we're breaking down at the 50 level. And HSI. Again, both of those. It's pretty nasty rejection. I would almost say this is a lot like before the bigger flush a year ago. A lot of similarities. Okay. One or two more. Let me take a quick peek. Where are we in NASDAQ? 764. No dot. I don't have a 5-second time frame. Did we retest that? No, not all the way. That would be interesting. We had that shark. Okay, let's look for the shark. Back at 87, type 2. I'm waiting for the type 2 on the 5-second time frames. Those have been great signals. Continuation area is stronger. What else we got? Gold, silver, getting kind of the snot knocked out of it. Gold futures, guys, What they do, 3618, and I think we're just going to have to kind of bring it back like this. Maximum 3618 harmonic objective has been hit. That was there. It was 5500. Where's the 382? Okay, that's 3800. 3800. Now 4800. Let's use minimum 236. I don't like that particularly, but it does work as like a first step approximation. And that's like 4400. Were we down there? Not yet. Almost. No, maybe last week we were down there. We scraped 4400 last week. There. This is also, I think, pretty important. Let's see what happens off of this deep crab. I know we looked at this before. Gold did a crazy 1618 throwdown, but I would have to assume you're in a return trade. So gold's 48.80. I'm looking more like 47 and hope we get a retest at 44. I don't think we were at 44 yet. Yeah. What about SLV? Down what? 10? 11? Hourly? 4 hour? Okay. Well, first time. Look, this is the first 4 hour dot since November. And that was at 45. So that's significant. And I would start looking after this. You got 10 minutes until the new 4 hour candle. And I'd put you somewhere really, look at the dot, use the open of that bar. So that's around 68 bucks. Still early. The last before that was over here. And we know the deal. Look, remember this? We were there and this was for the SLV. Yeah, I think it was a 16181902. It was, oh no, sorry, it was a 2618. And hold on, it's not perfect. There it is. I mean, it did not hit on futures, but it did hit on the SLV, and that was 108. Amazing. Oh boy. Hold on. Hold on. We got problems, don't we, kids? Let me go back to NQ. This could be a crash stream. Let's go there. Yeah, I kind of caught that. $72. I think I want to stay on NASDAQ. I saw this falling apart. Yeah. SanDisk short. Hold on, let me bring up another. I'll bring up another chart so I keep that open. I don't get off on it. Um, there was ES all the way back down. Really quick. SanDisk short. Thank you. Oh, great, thanks. Well, you're there. I don't think chasing anything that looks like that right now is a good idea. Maybe you want to day trade it, but geez. SanDisk, Micron, because they don't look. I with all of those, we were talking about them last week of them getting oversold, like hoping they would get oversold. They still haven't gotten oversold. We talked about Micron over the last week or two because they were going ballistic. But I said that's, you can't, there's nothing up here to jump on. And that, I mean, SanDisk was up like 50 or more. Looking for stuff like this. And maybe we'll get it soon. But it's, from a longer term swing perspective, you're almost oversold, but not quite. Micron's the same deal. Took it up fast, bring it back fast. Getting oversold. And Micron by far hottest stock of all. That was 440 and now 380. But we need stuff like this, guys. And again, I try to just highlight what's important. Looking for stuff like this: arrow, diamond, dot, arrow, dot, just an arrow, but double dot came in a little later. And so why not? I mean, we're down hard. It's a good idea. Hey, Micron's been fantastic. Where's the long opportunity? Not yet. Just look, you need HSI to generate your days. Bars. I want this thing to tank. Let's get it over with now. Hold on. It does feel like last year, right? Already. Maybe we get a go to target one, get a return trade. Hold on one moment. Here we go, guys. My goal here, hang in until 2. Let's get, it's 125. Let's get some kind of counter trade set up. And we'll do, go for like a 20, 40 point scalp like we did last time. And that's going to be more of what we're doing here. There's I think I figured out how to not have the platform or the CPU get hung up. So I got my systems together. And let's see if we get something here. Also, I meant to bring this up, that on the 4-hour chart, just larger time frame stuff, we were looking for 25,153 last week, down to retest the hop, and there's T2. This is a failure because here is the T2 way below the targeted level, and there's nothing. I mean, it's not oversold. It's actually, look, this is another classic 50 rejection. And I say this a lot, like it matters if here's HSI. Is it below 50 or above 50? Are we trending lower or higher? We're trending lower. So you directionally, you look at that and you say, this still got to go down. It's not oversold. What's the last signal? It's up here, overbought. You got a ways to go. Blend in some pattern work with it. If anything, 25,130 is now resistance. That's prior support. Sorry for that. Excuse me. I just got that coffee and I just slurped your ear. Hold on. Hold on. Great. Okay. 140. All right, here's another HSI on the 32nd. 1, 2, 3. A no dot. So should I just enter? try to play it down. I'm looking hop at 12 right now. That's what we've seen here. Hold on. HSI is not under 50, so that's got to be there. Not under 50 yet. Maybe we'll get a dot finally on this. This is something I've been looking at the last hour. Last one was up here at 8:30, or no, 8. What was that? 8's 58, and the high was 83. Let me do this. There you go. 5-second time frame. Let's stay there. 49. 49 to 58. We get that type 2. That's probably the trigger. 5-second pattern with those other 30-second confirmations. There you go. And I just let you guys know, I have the preset stop loss, 48 ticks. That's 12 points. So, and I had this earlier today where I got into the wrong trade, and this thing's swinging 20, 30 points in a 5-second interval. So if you're going to get screwed, there you go. You just went from 30 to 50 in 10 seconds. So, and that's what we were talking about. So again, holding your numbers, picking your numbers, critical. T2 just generated. Can I get a dot-ish? Can I get an arrow here, up here, arrow dot? Are we going to get a diamond? And hop level 58. I'm looking 49 to 58 area. There's a diamond. Come on up here. There you go. All right, right here. Straight, I'm looking right here. Blows through. Right here. Oh, we got T263. That's a little bit more. But that's got to be, you're basically it. So I started looking right here at 58. It blows through. Maybe we get a secondary dot. Maybe it's more like 63. Or he looks like that's going to fail this. What? Retest? Maybe retest the dot here, guys. Because I'll tell you in a second. Hold on. And that's like 69. So it's not this 58 area. It's more like 63. Let's see if we get that. Retest the dot. Come on. All right, here we go. All right, watching that under the 50. I'm going to go 64. Aye. 63.50. Let's see it get picked up. All right, I'm in, and I'm going to move that automatically break even. No, try it again. That's the one thing. If you don't know that, try again. Come on. Back to 63 again. One more time. Oh, come on. That's the one thing that I do. Yeah, you get burned like that. But again, especially on a day like today, that was 20 already. I'd be in a break-even situation right now, probably. Let's see if we get one more shot. But that's the one thing. I'm willing to do that. Like as soon as I get like 3-5 points, I'm in a break-even. Because if I'm right about the space, then it's going to go in a serial move. But the number's 58. Hop level up here. Let me see if I get up there. Ah, come on. Why? I can't hold the dome. Ah, come on. Ah, come on. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Listen, this is just part of the process. That was a perfect spot. Let's try it again. 58, and then we had the trigger was as high as 63. So again, what's the takeaway there? I was in the right spot. I mean, like within ticks. That has to be the objective. And so you building yourself up to have the patience to wait for that, and remember what I was saying also, waiting for this 50 break, and that was probably the one thing where I jumped too early. I mean, I got out. Had I waited 5 seconds more, I'd probably still be in this thing. But we'll get it again because I'm counter HSI. Like there's HSI bullish, and then there's a dot for sure. We're at a target like 33. So again, just being real to say your likely tradable segment is like somewhere 65-ish to 35. That's 35. And I do have enough here where yeah, maybe we can go lower, but from dot to dot or dot to arrow, that's my high probability. Like I know, okay, I recognize that as overbought. This is oversold. So, I'm on defensive once that triggers. Let's see if we get one more. Maybe this comes back for another dot back at 58. But it was a good spot. And again, that happens. Part of it, some people, I've heard that a lot. People say, I get into a pattern, I get stopped out, and it frustrates me. I just say, well, get back in. Go back in. I mean, you can't, it doesn't have to be one entry. And with, what I was saying with today's volatility as well, you have to be right. And if you can take a shot that's risk free, meaning you get in, you guys saw that I had like zero drawdown, had instant movement because my numbers were right. My number entries, my levels were spot on, which is the whole edge of the software and everything. Now, the mechanical part, being willing to have the patience to line it up, take the shot. Again, that takes some practice. But I'm going to try to do this one more time. Let's see. I'm not. It's not fun for me to just kind of rattle off and just riff here if I've got nothing. But that 58 number was really good. At least with today, we got, big movement. Where are we now? We're only off 260. We were down a lot more. I mean, we were down, what, 400 again today? Let's see what's up here. My thought here is we come back, retest the shark. Again, I know it's crazy. It's a 5-second interval, but that's where we get patterns all the time. I would say first spend several days, a week, maybe two, observing, reinforcing, or at least a few days before trying to click the button. The key is using the 5-second little micro signals and triggers against, say, 30-second and 5-minute phenomenon. Okay, like the 5-minute here. Well, the 30-second right now is a failed. This is a failed pattern. Okay, and we had the dot all the way up here at 765, and then the 5-minute is, this is interesting because Look, we have a pattern on the 5 minute, but what's going on as we speak is this check back. You're retesting low 728. All right, but that's just one bar. You would still need two more green candles before we could go again and assume that this is bullish, but it's not. A little breakdown at 20. So how do you feel about 60 now? This would have been actually, all right, I need to pay attention more. That 30-second, this is on a 30-second interval, and that was also up there where the open bar trigger on that was 69. No retest. A little bit different from here. This one, all the way up here, when we were looking at that at 50, that's a more concrete signal for sure. Let's see what's going on here. Boy, the 12 level. Remember the looping pattern. This is a lot of stuff. This is the kind of the second level harmonic pattern stuff, guys. That I didn't realize that at first. But you go through years of experience. There you go. That this stuff matters. So perfect example on a 30-second time frame. Type 1, 2, and then looping retest where the hop at 212 or 712. Yeah, that matters. It's failing, but it matters why that 712 level paused for a little bit and now back down. Big down. So that 760 entry, we'll get them next time. Let's see what happens there. Uh, 20% correction, it could very well happen. We just talked about why I thought maybe 10% correction for now. You know, we talked about that actually on Tuesday, why it was failing. We were saying at 560, at 25 560, the thing had failed, or 25 530. We're all good, but for today, right now, where's this thing going? Where's the patterns looking left? All the way there. 25 570, guys. We're 700. Another looping situation. Same way we see it on a monthly Bitcoin. Here you go, 30-second time frame. That matters till it fails. Now that will matter next. What's up, Wayne? How you doing today? Yes, it's 2025 vibes all over again. Let's see there. Hey, it's all good, Momo. It's all good. No, I think we've all been pretty clear about it. And the crypto thing is definitely just playing out. Crypto is playing out down to the numbers that we have been talking about for months. Yeah, it's all good. Nick Miller, do I trade CD legs when the C point is confirmed? I think the only way you could look at that, Nick, is if you have confirmation. I prefer to trade the returns and look for opportunities. Like, listen, framework, guys. Okay, that's our interpretation every time. And this is the way I would look at it. This is the 30-second shark that had the shark to 5-0 type 1. And if I'm seeing something like that and it stalls, that's the other thing. Like, you get a confirmation variable. You get a bearish candle or two here right at target 1. and starts rolling over, I will immediately think go for the return move. And that's 634 back to XA, which is 568. And that's where then I can develop smaller term strategies. Like if I'm here at 634 and this went as high as 650, but I can look in right above 634 for other things on like a 5-second chart as an intraday scalp move with a, knowing that that's a return move, a high degree of probability. There's probably 70, 80 points somewhere down there. This was actually almost 100. And I think this ugly bat pattern is going to get kicked out in a second. And we might get another one. Like your 704 right now. I told you, I'm not really, because I'm still bearish on the higher time frames, I'm not looking for any bullish setups today. I'm looking to just sell. But that's a pretty clear type 1. And then we'll roll over, and I'd look for, maybe we'll get something up here above 767 for the return move, because I'm thinking we're going to roll over and puke the rest of the afternoon. Come on, man. Yeah. Yeah. I'm going to have to put him in timeout. I mean, just guys, you can comment, please, but, just be chill. That's all. That's all. That's all I request. Okay. Thank you. He's gone. And I knew this would happen with the live trading. As soon as I start putting up reflectors, depth of market, and trying to click trades, that people are going to come in. But it's fine. They just get booted. So I'm just looking for the next bearish jump on point, pattern wise 67. The diamond thing is that it's look, I'm letting a lot of them go, but I would prefer that arrow diamond dot setup on the return trade, that if you're going to get it. If market's super strong, not so much. Like this return trade here, or candidate, let's put it that way, all you had was an arrow, not even a dot. I would say you would need at least an arrow and a dot, but just arrow diamond dot, that's your ideal. And if you start leaking, like going higher up into the zone, that's where, like, if you don't get the confirmation, then you might consider somewhere in this. It's more of a ballpark. You need the confirmation to treat it, to have it really pinpointed. Try to find one that has that. Here's a situation. Okay, this was pre-market. Like, let's say you're here and you see the bat pattern. Okay, and it goes down to target 1. Well, arrow dot before T1, no, that doesn't work like that. Okay, and so you're all the way down here, you still don't have anything. All right, and again, you had some return, but you didn't get all the way to XA. These are situations, just let them go. You'll get, and don't get frustrated by them. I mean, at a minimum, you should have T1 or T1 dollar sign is actually a good way to look at that, and then have some confirmation after the fact. You don't get it, just let it go. That's why, look, come back to the 5-second time frame. You get so many examples like that, and I should not let this go. 93. Oh, look at this thing leaking out already. Oh, come on, what am I doing here? I don't have one for, oh, well, I do have one for this return example. Yeah, there you go. On a 5-second time frame, this is exactly what we were talking about. All right, type 1 reaction goes to target 1, and then on the 5-second interval, it's an arrow dot diamond. So there's T1. You did have a pattern as well. The target one is like 42. The pattern was 50. Okay, and it rolled over. But I'm just trying to identify those high probability inflection points. Also, again, we've made the assessment the higher time frame is still down. Should be down for the rest of the day. MicroStrategy after the earnings today. What's up, Daylight? I've been, negative on strategy for a while, especially after the breakdown. 75, so it just remains the target. Hold on. Who is that? 1 second. Hold on. Got it. So even on the 5-second, the last time I had this diamond, I was up here. And really nice entry, terrible, just way too quick on the draw of putting it in. But that's all right. Again, I'll do it again. But it was up here. The last two worked out. We'll get one more. I can't tell you when they materialize. I'll do like a couple hours in the morning looking for setups, take a break, come back in the afternoon. If nothing really moving, just come back last hour of the day. Today's a little different. Last couple of days have been good though. Netflix, is this a bottom? I hope so, but I think you got, time is really need that development. Netflix is on a free fall, and we're still looking for that to turn around. It has to get a dot. Yeah, remember this? So, not yet. I mean, we were looking, I think, way back when for this to retest the bottom end of the channel at 100, and it hasn't had a green bar since. Not one green candle to even go off of. So just another let it go thing. Let that situation go. Come on, let's get, speaking of let go. Try to stay with that. The QQQ is, I think 600 is just a number. QQQ, the first targets are 530, 545. And that triggered. Okay, definitely triggered recently. The last couple of days. Boy, Bitcoin's getting the snot beat out of it, guys. Bitcoin's now 65,000. Look at this. Where is it going? I mean, 50, 48. It looks like to me this has got flash crash written all over it. Yeah, now's when I like, should have been shorting. Targets for Bitcoin, other than 29K, just take this last move up. The 886 was decimated, failed. This has got 1618 written all over it. That's 44. You get liquidations. Liquidations haven't started yet either. Sailor swears that he'll be in business even if Bitcoin is $10,000. I don't know. I don't know. It does, you know, when things really work, I frequently find myself saying, boy, this is happening faster than I thought. It's 29K. Yeah, and all of these bit miner, like all of these guys that borrowed this money and basically collateralized the debt with the Ethereum and the Bitcoin, and it's not worth anywhere near, and they can't pay the payments. You know, Tom Lee. This is when it's not. Look, there's Bitminer. Where does that go? $3, $5? I don't know. They were supposed to be something. It was at 35. We were looking at it. At 35, we were looking at it. You know, I'll tell you what I'm not looking at. Come on. I got to be looking here. Arrow, diamond, dot. Hold on. Let's see back here. 82-ish. Got to go to the hop at 57. I might take a stab here. I think I'm just going to have to leave the screen open, guys, and stop window to windowing because I missed stuff like that. And I don't like to just kind of like be there and riff, but I have to just keep the window open. This is already breaking down. I can see it. Boy, oh boy. Yeah, that was right there. Can we get one more? That's like 78, and then these are all like 78 to 81 ish. Fail that zone. Look at the counter HSIs. Again, this is another just universal kind of strategy thing. If you're in a bullish pattern, especially something with confirmation, and then you run right into a counter dot, that's trouble already. Let's see here. Let's see if we get back to 80 something. And the 30-second time frame is like this. There's the confirmation on the back on the crab here. Oh no, it's a bat pattern trying to. That's all right. I think we're going to get a counter signal. There's the bump to 80, 85 something. Let's get a counter 30-second signal. I'm looking for the one that's going to send it right back down for the rest of the afternoon. It's 157. Nick saying you traded CD legs. Yeah, I look, the return trade's better for me. Some people do say that they try to project it out. I think that's the kind of the magnet effect, where if you have a clear pattern formation and you get the C point right, yeah, it's a great setup. It's a slamming setup. But here, I mean, that's just, I'm betting on failure. I'm betting on F for failure. Oh, and we got another HSI on the 5-minute. It does not even ready yet. They went back down into the zone. Look, 2 minutes to the next bar is gonna have to get retested. What might be happening is maybe in another 30 minutes we get a couple of dots. You're gonna have just to show you guys, when you see the arrow on the software, it's always early. Okay, but and you're going to need 2 green bars. First level there is like 76, but you'd still need to retest 61. Somebody better get in here and cut some rates or flood this market with a little money, or this is not going to work out. Hourly time frame, what do we got? We got that. That's pretty interesting. Check out, we are kicking out patterns. This is a deep crab. We got you can't see it, but there's an arrow and a dot. There's a dot right on top of each other, but that's at again 24,550. And I just show you this as well. This stalling behavior, check it out. You have the crab, you're hitting the 1618 there, and you go sideways. We're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Can't get out of the zone. It's a T1, and you're always thinking 3 to 5 bars. Tell me what's going on. Can it get above 757? Not really. And we're, okay, 1, bang, new bar for the hourly setup. Just went into the new bar. You're going to have to come back into here. On the hourly time frame, that's a bust. Like this. 757 is that XA level. And you're 6 hours into this test. Not acting strong on the hourly time frame. That, for me, when I'm looking at that, I could say that, all right, well, we're either going to retest the open trigger, which is 634, or even go back to the lows 546. And don't forget hop at 332, something maybe for later today or into tomorrow morning. That's not ready to come out yet on the hourly time frame. You want the dot and you want the retest. And that retest, that's what you're seeing here now. Open bar trigger 635. Oh, come on. 5 second. Give me. No. Bum, bum, bum. Did we get to 16 on that? No. Okay, here's a counter setup. We were talking about this earlier. Is deep crab down here. We'd want that to go to target 1 and then look for the return, and it fell shy. Again, I really am waiting for the perfect multiple conditions, like that last one at 760. But that's all right. And the rest of them, I really don't know what to say, guys. I don't know if you're holding Bitcoin, what to do. Other than if you've probably been through it. And if you've been through it before, 80% retracement, that's probably what you're about to go through. And now everyone's jumping on it. A bank failed. Yeah, what's up, Cat? I can look at Hood in a second. Hold on, let's see if we get 716. Get up here. Now 03. And don't think this can't fall apart. You got 2 hours left in the day. This thing could set us up for like a 30 at the end of the day, kind of a dump. Oh, here's the other thing. All right, cool. 30-second time frame. Was that 665 there? All right, a little reaction. We could get another dot really soon here. So again, I told you guys I'm not really, even though they're working out, I'm not really playing the long side. Because what happens is normally you get some duds. 665 up to 704 or whatever, 720. That's great, but again, it's had a lot of failed signals in between. Oh, Chicago based. I went into receivership. Sure. Crypto is strangely pushing up. What's up, Universal? It strangely is probably a good way to describe it, but I'm not, what's strange is that other than being some kind of reaction, I just don't see it. And again, I would say Ethereum is probably the best one to watch because I mean, I'm not saying it's anywhere close to being turning around. It's that you wouldn't even consider it until you see two dots or one dot on the weekly. All right, nice push up to target one. Definitely want a dot. Someone was asking me earlier, do I want to see up here if we're going to look for a return a dot diamond? Yeah. We have one. I think we'll probably one counter HSI against the zone, but no arrow, no dot yet. I'll let that ride. You're getting there. Just a little mid-afternoon bump. There's the 5-minute. Was that an... Oh, come on. Maybe I should not. I think this is an RTH. Oh. Here's the 5-minute. Did we? No, we did not. All right. Here we go. All right, so the 5-minute RTH regular trading hours, this is that special setup where you get the dot and then you get the retrace. Open bar on that was 829.75. What was the high? That was 890. You'd look for like 10 to 20 beyond there. So that was a little bit more than anticipated. I would say this is just another little reaction. We'd almost have to assume really soon you're going to retest 700, no matter how high that goes. 700, got to retest 573 as well on the RTH 5-minute chart. So that's still in a return. But this is the kind of preferred setup. You get the target one, T1 right there, goes to target $1 But the return that you start looking for isn't until at least the dot and the retest of the dot. So that's all the way over here. So at 8:30, you're looking for signs of breakdown, 3-bar breakdown. That's a 5-minute, so breaking on a 30-second chart or something like that. And the kind of the midday, you're getting like at least 2 or 3 directional changes a day on the 5-minute chart. Pre-market there, 1, 2, third one, and then break it down like 30-second. What's up into that box? There's the box. There's that box on a 30-second time frame. Tell me what you got. Real nice dot, arrow, diamond, dot. There, arrow, diamond, dot, there. So you're using that 30-second time frame to pinpoint inside the box. I mean, even the box is, it's huge, 60 points. That's a lot, but you then trigger inside, like smaller time frame. And I even go next level, 5-second-ish. The bat pattern target one is, man, we did not. I'm waiting for target one, because we're going to have a return trade. At 67, we were 50 what? We were 60. That's right. I'll wait for it. That's great. We did SPY. You're short at 688 on SPY. What, just now? 688. You must have been short earlier. Where are you on that? Don't know. Yeah, I can look at JP Morgan. I think that's just get an oversold signal. There's SPY on the 5 minute. I'm somewhat impressed. Look at the 1-2 it did off of the last crab pattern. Pretty remarkable. I mean, hit target one, hit type one, right back to target one $sign, and then back down. And legitimately, this is really the only place of all the moves off the pattern. The real trade was probably there. Arrow dot diamond or arrow diamond dot at the hop at 676. Take it to the arrow, which is like 681. That's legit. This might be a secondary shot right here. Yeah, I mean, a SPY is looking like it wants to bounce a little bit. You got a couple signals here now. It needs it. What about, where is that? I haven't looked at the SPY in a while, actually. I'm always looking at the futures. It's not a pretty chart. The funny thing is that people don't realize, okay, we only go back to, what's that, end of November? So end of November all the way up to here truly is, 3 months now. But this is probably the situation SPY into rest of February. 886 reset off of that little rally. 650, 656, sorry. And we're still in a long-term uptrend. I don't that's not what I'm talking about. I'm not saying anything mass devastation, but even on the short-term swing, 90 days kind of a thing, yeah, that's where you're probably going underneath here. Five-minute. Yeah, it's all right. 680 now. Is that a T2? No, we're still, yeah, it's a T2 actually, sorry. Because you had that early move, type 1, 2. Go back, fill the gap at 80, maybe 86. Be aware of that. That is a T2. You read in the chart. Go to target 2 as a possibility. I think you're up now. If we're up there, what about NQ? A little counterbalance. And we're still waiting. We're looking for that retest. I'm not longing anything that's not legit T2. You might get a come back little hourly retest, maybe 830. But SPY's looking a little better than NASDAQ futures. Yeah, maybe 830 on this bounce here. The bat looked weak. This bat pattern definitely looked weak. There you go, up on the return trade. So at least it reached for targets. And how do you know? Well, the software is going to kick it out, guys. And sometimes that helps just to say, hey, if I'm looking for this target 1 to end, if I'm just thinking this is reaction, well, I better have a T1 $sign. Then some confirmation. An arrow, diamond dot, preferably, and 13. Okay, even though we're still in a type 1 reaction, we're as high as target 2. That's relevant, and we don't have on this short-term time frame. Look, we're not even close. We're going to get it. I'll have to get this out to you guys because the combo panel is helpful to anticipate. I mean, this will give us a diamond eventually up here, but you know, you need arrow. You need the arrow first. HSI arrow. We're way early up here. I'll hang on for another 5 or 10 minutes. Let's see if this, maybe this could be the end of the type 1. There's an arrow, and I'll see if we get one more. No, Echo. I spot traded Bitcoin last few years, but that's it. I never traded futures. I might have tried it once or twice. All my crypto I ever did was spot. Really quick, JP Morgan. JP Morgan's like this. I'm just going to say this for all of these. Go to daily, weekly. What do you got? I mean, if we're going to get into a retrace, you're looking for the major oversold situation. That's all. The daily's like that. Yeah, I mean, it's okay. But 300 support, there's really nothing at 309. That's all. I think with all of this, and I think Tesla's probably the best one of all, we need that signal. I'll go to that in a second. All right, 5-minute is... Hold on. I think it's like this for S&P, and I'm still favoring short side. But maybe it's a secondary retest, then we get to 573. And that red line is there at 830, 828. Not there yet. I'll wait for it. And HSI is oversold again. Overbought. But early. Here's the Tesla deal, guys. Tesla is up here. We've been watching at 444 for a long time, and we had all the confirmation. And it spent 12 weeks up here, going sideways and then rolled over, but we knew we were waiting for the retrace. Is this a type 2? Yes. Are we going to go to target 2 at 249? It would be the objective, ideally. But I said I wanted to break it down and just go on the daily because the daily had patterns. And we had an oversold trigger that did not return it. So I would say target 1. You know, we were looking right in here for this to resume and go diamond back to diamond, and it failed. Failed because now you got the pattern. 372. So not yet. It's a lot like last year. Last year we were looking at some oversold triggers here, but we had XA at 267. We knew 440 last year had to retrace, and then 267 came in and still went to 210. Not yet. It's just not ready. Let me get back to that. $8.14. Hello. All right, that's a little better. Now, there's your arrow dot. It's still a type 1, by the way. I'll tell you what, this is, here, let me bring this up. Waiting on this. So this is the combo panel indicator. that of how you guys get the diamond. The diamond will not generate until overbought, one of the extremes, and then you cross the 50. So let's see what we get up here. 30-second time frame. I could see this being, if we can get it, and there's the 5 minute, tagging back where we said 8:30-ish. We're in a new overbought reading, so that's got to pivot out too. But number wise, let's see. We're really close. Number wise off of that last dot at a minimum. Like 8:30-ish. 8:28.75. But look, I'm not jumping into something that's 25 minutes straight up when we will get, I think, development up here. You'll get a bearish candle, not ready yet. Okay, 8:30 was the number on the 30-second time frame. The first bar we would look at was there, and that's straight up because there's the dot. Look, next bar, straight up. You're early. You're not ready. 30, different story. 29-ish. Not there yet. Also, HSI, still above the 50, amplified there. Getting closer. Do we go into the next 5 minute? Let's see here. I think we're pretty close to this. There you go. And if that diamond kicks off in 2, 1, nope, maybe here. It's not official. It's trying to print that diamond, which means, yeah, I'd be really close here. Need that diamond. Amplified's kind of not going in the right direction either, so I know I'm probably still a bar here away. Diamond didn't print on that one. We first said like 8:30 area. Don't have a diamond yet. Come on. Oh, you got it. Come on. Don't do a 50-point dump on me again. I might try to go in off of this as a 1 bar stop. I'm not going to get the 28. Weak. Hold on. Come off the 50 now. Can you get to 28? The middle range of that diamond too here is 28. So let's see what we get there. Click that. Where am I? I'm at 29 a quart. Nope. Nope. You son of a bitch. Hold on. Don't like it already. I'm going to go right back to break even, see if I can get out of that. All right. Didn't like it. Got out of break even. It should not go against me. It should not go against me like that. Hold on. Let's stay in here one more time. I'm going to take another shot. 50 level's not ready yet. But 29 is the number. 28, 29 is the number. It shouldn't go to like 34 like that. And it's because the 50 level. I'm not ready yet. Try again. All right, I'm liking that better. Hold on. Hold on. I should have the 5-second on here. That's 28. Did it again. Hold on. You bastard. Well, maybe what can I do differently here? That's the second time. Maybe what I need to do is spread out the stop wider. That's a whiff. Another whiff. I'm trying to be, and sometimes to my fault, I try to be too exact on that because it was there, and I what was the top? You got the 39, so that was like 12 above 28, 27-ish. Let's try it again. Let's see. I'll get in. We'll get one more oversold because I'm still of the opinion that this thing's got a tank written all over it by the afternoon. That could have been a first. You know, what you're saying is that's the thrust. Mm, that's something. Try again, guys. We'll probably get one back at 813, which was that other number, but this is still the so it's the return play. Boy, oh boy, not happy with that. Normally, this does not. Once you have the diamond, you don't have a full check back. This one did. Let's see here. We're gonna get some kind of lame rally. Try one more shot. I would be out of that trade already, by the way, for sure. And I might have even taken it here from like 30, 28, and seen that and been like, that's fine. Take the 10 or 15. Um, hold on. That's frustrating. Should I go on a 1 second? This is where your blown accounts go. The revenge factor. I mean, you could do it. 85, but you'd have to be scalping. I don't recommend it. It's fun to look at that, but 5 second time frame legitimate to really have enough time to react. And even then, said I didn't like the overshoot. It wasn't that bad. It was plus 10. Oh, the freaking 5 minute too. Where was that? That number. Oh boy, that was the 28 number. 28 to 38, Scott. See, I still forget it. It was this 28 to 38. 5 minute, 30-second time frame. Great. 5 second, really not much. You had it like this check back line, so and that was like 25. The others were 28 to 38. Probably get one more. But I would still do it for futures because when you get the situations where they go crazy and you're not protected, that's how you blow out accounts. And that's why I do it when I'm doing the scalping like this. I want to be exactly in the right spot and I want to be putting in my stop loss. And the two times where we had the stop loss, or the break evens, they both worked. Today's is a little more volatile than other days. Try it up again. I'm trying to do this more what we do on Tuesday, Thursday. Yeah, see you guys. There's your 100 points. Here comes your return move. Still, we really pinpointed the right spot. And that's you build from there. You're gonna have that experience, guys. I just went through it. Okay, what do we learn? Maybe give it the time. I don't. If I get in it and I'm triggered and I have an opportunity to get to break even, I'll take the free shot. Yes, you can have a problem where you don't get another secondary chance in there, um, but we're in the right ballpark. I think it's more than a ballpark, and I want to be clear, especially with futures. We focus more on this, especially in this year. This combination is exactly what we want. It better would be arrow diamond dot and still trigger off of the diamond. The tricky part, you guys saw it where the whole time we've been thinking, okay, 813. We're first thinking 767 and then maybe 813. Well, you were here at 840. And here comes the return move all the way back half the time. 04. Directionally, though, spot on. And when you guys learn, integrate framework more and more, you'll go through that experience. You're going to miss opportunities. Just mark it up and get it and apply it for the next time. But clearly, type 1, confirmation delayed up here, looping type 2, 704 possibility. And this is just happening quickly. There you go. It happens. I'm not going to get on myself, although normally I would. Silver GLD, SLV GLD lowest targets. I don't know, 382s, 618s. Okay, would have been really nice to have caught that for you all. Would have been really nice to catch it for myself. But there it is, 150. Type 2 return complete. Try it again. See, even on a 5 second time frame, did not get a single opportunity in anywhere here. And just straight down. You know, there's the first HSI. Finally overbought. Boy, where is this going to go by the end of the day? By 4? Yeah, the 5 minute. Here we go. It's 573. It is 573. One more. Okay, checked it. Return. Hold on. Where's that? Up at there you go, 13-ish. Just looking for an entry. Just sell it down to 73 on the next spot here. Not yet. There's 20. And that's 50 off the low already. Oh, 24-ish. Too fast. I put in 20. It just too fast. And that's part of today too. As soon as that T1 generated, I went for 24 to get a target one. Didn't pick up. Let's see if we get a retest. We get a T2 on the 5 second, guys. Structurally, that would be a. I'll look for that as the. There you go. Can you give me a dot? Diamond dot. Scrape the hop. I'll look at this. Maybe 37. All right. See, no confirmation on that retest yet. I see what it did. It's pulling off that next one again. But I don't have any confirmation. I need a diamond. I want arrow diamond dot. Not yet. Yeah, of course. Well, that last one, all the way up at 830. That's exactly the kind of setup we're looking for. What's the stop there? 48. $237, guys. Give me the type 2 and then let's seal the deal. At another 5 second arrow diamond dot off of that at 08. 08 back to 33. Come on. And we get the T2 up here. I know that kind of redrew. That happens on the 5 second. Our bigger signals are still going to be stuff like 30-second time frame, which, okay, you got an arrow there at 34. Let's see. There's the type 2 on the 32nd. This is tough. This is like where you're totally squeezed too. I still think we go lower, longer, but with now we got a T2, it probably forces it back up. That was a sweet short at 30. 33 to 47. If that's going to drive it all the way down to, there you go. Okay, give me some confirmation. There it is. Hold on. Go up to 47 here. Let me go 33. What is it, 33 and a quarter? No, it's moving. This moving really fast today. Come on. Nope. I'm getting that, not getting that ideal setup. This should retest it up here. And that would be the trigger. Maybe we go earlier on Tuesday, guys. I think that might be. I've been talking about going to 12 noon and then maybe like even 11:30 might be better. And then we have more time. Now the afternoon's just dragging out. And that's at like 22. Yeah, I'll say this. Look, if I'm here trying to play that down, the hop at 52 is going to get tagged. Here you go. Okay. Listen, take some time with the program, guys. This is our preferred signal. Where, and going with the trend. What happened there? I moved the stop too soon. All right, we'll get it next time. For the rest of the day, again, I'm only, the reason why I'm focused on these signals is the arrow diamond dot or arrow dot diamond is more complex overbought oversold situation. This was that return trade, meaning type 1 reaction over, look and play it back down for the pattern completion, done, and by, in terms of framework, this trade is done. As I said when I started today, I'm not interested in going long. I still think we've got more work to the downside. Is this a type 2? Yes. Pretty nice one. I don't like, if you're at a 30-second time frame, I don't like this counter signal, but yeah, you could bounce here, but I'm not really crazy about it. I've been favoring this type of stuff all day. Have your reaction up and then kick it back down. And this, kind of have something right now too. This thing looks weak. I mean, just look at the bullish patterns, how they're acting versus bearish. 1, 2, perfect. Bullish, no. Little reaction, can't even get to target 1, back down. Yeah, I don't know. Really? Hold on. NASDAQ's down 300 now, guys. But holy smokes. Wow, Bitcoin's back under 66. Oh, boy. 245. Can we get a return trade if we get to 1925? I mean, the last pattern here is a bullish bat, but again, get to You got to hit target one. Yeah, I mean you get this is crazy scalpy move. But you get chopped up. You get chopped to shreds. That's why I want to wait for those concrete signals. It's all right. Look, all in all, for me to be able to do this for you guys, run all the screens and keep it interesting, I'm still learning. A lot easier for me to chill at home, but I think you get the gist of what I'm trying to do. Highlight what are the super special setup signals and how to be, what should we be thinking and looking for at those turning points. Still lower. Look at this. This is garbage. 575. Come on. 573.25. If not, hop level, because this is a type 1. I'll leave you guys with this consideration into tomorrow. 573, that could happen in the next, hour and 30 minutes till 4:15. And if we fall apart here, especially at this 700 level, 426. What a mess. And I haven't even been paying attention. What's going on, guys? Yeah. A couple comments and I'll get out of here. I hope this is educational. It is educational. Great. And again, it's more of what I'm trying to move this direction into of what we do here. Oh, shit. Look at that. Oh 07. Hold on. This should completely collapse right here. I'm not getting this. That's brutal. I'm not even getting the checkbacks on the micro. This is so weak. It's so weak. I'm not even getting these kind of there's a perfect little 5-second trigger, like 707 area, and you just not. And I told you, this is gonna collapse right here. The rest of it, guys, I think we just got to buckle up. If you want to have any kind of a idea of what we're going to go through, I think we got to go back and look at last year. Last February and March were really difficult, and it seems like we're back there. So yeah, this is all lower. You head in lower. I mean, all of this 30-second time frame. 652. This second. But that's what I want to get to do. Again, I don't want to rub it in on crypto, but guys, I am looking for the cataclysmic destruction on crypto. I hate to say it, but it's absolutely cataclysmic. And my only number now on Bitcoin is 39,000. Even if you bounce $20,000, I don't care. I mean, Bitcoin is just going to collapse down to the 786 retracement. That's all of our levels, those same levels that got us to 76 and then 68 all in a heartbeat. We're now going to go to 39. And that's it. Beyond that, we'll be doing more futures and very little crypto. Because I don't even want to talk about stuff that's not an opportunity. Relevant levels in the right direction. And that direction might mostly be selling for the next few weeks. We'll do it on futures. Bitcoin, I don't even want to trade it. It's become a sad little market. I'm serious. It's been all along. It's been a big circle jerk, in my opinion. And Michael Saylor telling people they're poor because they don't have Bitcoin. We're going to see how that plays out. I'm dead serious. And that never sat right with me. Like, it was kind of like a big psyop. And it might, you know what? Bitcoin might last forever, infinity, but at what price? Sitting at a T2 right now. I'm not interested in this. At 259, guys. I don't know. It was fun. Look, I took my money out of there. I gave some back, but I'm not. I'm done. Can we spend less time on hourly NASDAQ going forward? Sure. I mean, it's always worth a daily glance, but no, my focus here is 5 minute, 30-second, and 5 second going forward for all of them. Trying to bang, but they look ugly. And I would say, we said this last time, the failure at 530 was huge at 25 530, and this now you got to look for this on the daily to reset. So it's important to know those bigger time frames, but they only need like a quick glance. Here we go. 86. $92. Yeah. Let's go. Let's shoot to go on. Go early on Tuesday, guys. Look, I think it's going to be a devastating weekend for crypto. Truly, I think crypto could see 50K. Maybe not this week, but I could see a five number. It could be see 59 pretty quickly. And that's coming. And Ethereum deep to 1500. Yeah. And it's still not a buy. So take that to heart. What's that? That was 92. Yeah, on Tuesday we'll come back at 12 noon, guys. Everyone else, listen, get on over. It's here, harmonictrader.com. Get the software because we're going to be working with it, and the signals are all proprietary stuff, harmonic related stuff, the patterns. And then just if you want to get up to date, there's going to be some new, there is already one or two new webinars on the basic members chat. Just become a basic member, register now. There. Everyone else, just hold on because we're going to have to go through this for the rest of the next couple of weeks, I think. So I'm going to favor shorts. Favor shorts until we're, I would say, a lot lower. And it's probably sub 24. Like we're tomorrow, Friday, okay? We got Friday, and you go into next week, which is then you're coming up on the holiday. I would say these are your two numbers where just going back last 6 months, this is pretty obvious. You're here at and looking for just that 886 reset, retest off at the November low. And that's like 24.3, but this could do like a 1618 throwdown move for the year. And that's 22.7. Be aware of that. Just get ready. I mean, it broke yesterday. I think yesterday, maybe the day before, first day, So we're like 2 days into this slide, not even. Tuesday was probably when we were breaking it. And you see the rest with Bitcoin and the rest of it. Um, if you're long crypto, I'm sorry, take it to heart, make this a learning experience so we don't repeat. And for God's sakes, whatever you do, think for yourself, make your own decision. A lot of people find it helpful with harmonic pattern framework, but whatever you do, you're making your own decision. I mean, beyond this, guys, we're going to navigate this retracement like we did last year. Anticipate it and wait for the oversold signal. And that's a ways to go. That's weekly there. And with the clear signs, this is monstrous. This is where we started today. This is where we're going to finish for everyone that's hung on this long. That is a massive HPC software signal. Break under the 50 on the weekly. The last time we did it was here last year, almost to the same week. Maybe we're like 1-2 weeks ahead of this. Where would the long opportunity be? Not until HSI is oversold here and turns around back above the 50. That's weeks away, guys. Be aware of it. I mean, look, HSI didn't even register until all the way down here and popped out. And amplified got above the 50 as well. It's just we have entered into that window. So let's deal. Come back Tuesday. You guys have any questions, get over on the Discord. That's where things are going to be happening. And as I told everyone else, if you want a little crack at the gold membership for the rest of February for free, you got to DM me in the Discord. I'll set you up. All right? Happy to do it. Glad we're making the shift. It was nice knowing you, crypto. Maybe we should have a party. And then do it with futures. There's S&P. All good. Thanks, everybody. Hey, have a great weekend. Come on back on Tuesday. Hit like, subscribe, all of that to get with when I get notified. And again, Tuesday, let's look more like 12 o'clock start. Great. Thanks, everybody. Catch you next time.